Coming to HBO, an hour of television no family will want to miss. A young boy holds a secret that's tearing his family apart.
Boy, clean up that room, boy. Clean up that room, boy.
Dad! No!
Boy, you better clean up that room before I go inside your head.
No!
HBO After School Specials presents Daddy Still Has a Flat Top.
Boy, I will pinch you every place but under your tongue.
10 years after Kid and Play, 10 years after Big Daddy came, someone still can't let go.
Thank you very much. Now you better eat that up, boy. I paid good money for it. Hey, look! Come on.
And one family must summon the courage to grow together.
Kenny, I went through your closet today.
Dad, I just,
Hey, don't try to cover it up, boy. You're only gonna make it worse. Where'd you get these? Where'd you get these? Didn't I tell you to never bring these in my house?
No, Dad, this is... Cut your hair! Cut your hair!
Shut up, woman! I will do whatever I want to with my hair!
Listen to what people are saying about Daddy Still Has a Flat Top. So true to life, raves Patrick Ewing. A wake-up call, says Steve Harvey. Larry Blackman's cameo says, "Ow, a masterpiece." Daddy Still Has a Flat Top. A touching story of one boy's open heart and one man's square head.
Good job! Can't wait to see him now. My man.
All right, this is a special treat today. Me and Tony, we in the studio, man. We gotta do this. At least I gotta do this video, bro. Tony here thinks this is not a good idea. This is ill-advised to do this, but I gotta do it, man. I gotta do this video. I was just sitting back watching Shawn James, the one who's pointing the finger at beta males, blue pill simps. He likes to throw those words around, man, and you know, it's like, wow, my nigga. Once again, we come to the concept of the thing we call projecting. You know what I mean? And God damn it, man. Before I start this, let me say that I despise bullying and I despise bullies. But in this case, in this instance, I don't want to come off like I'm a bully, man, but I have to shed light on this issue, light on this subject, and just tell Shawn to just look, stop lying to yourself, my nigga. Stop lying to yourself and just acknowledge who and what you are. That's all I'm saying, man. You know, just that. This is why I'm doing this, because there's a lot of bullshit in the mix. We're gonna do a reaction video of Shawn James' video. What's this goddamn video called, man? This shit called
I got a comment.
What Shawn knows about
Simps. What Shawn knows about Simps. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna let y'all know this probably ain't gonna be cool. There's gonna be some jabs thrown in here, possibly. You know what I mean? But it's all done in fun to a degree, but yet still it's serious, because my nigga Shawn is delusional. You feel me? So we gonna listen to a little something, and I'm gonna stop it through the video. We gonna expound on some things. All right, you ready, Tony?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
From some people saying to me that how could I write a book like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, when I've not been in a relationship for 25 years? Well, I believe...
All right, stop.
Stop, please.
Oh, shit, okay.
Stop.
All right, what you got to say about Shawn writing a book called Stop Simping, but he ain't been in a relationship for 25 years. Also, keep in mind that this video is 2 years old, okay? Now, you know, that's red flag number one, man. Ain't been in a relationship in 25 years, but he's talking about how he knows simps and he knows simping. He's basically saying that, you know, he's able to cast aspersions upon niggas who are simps. I don't know. You want to expound on that, Tony?
I mean, you can't call or play, my nigga, if you never got off the bench. You understand?
Right.
If your uniform, you can't sit here and tell somebody how to run a play and your uniform clean as fuck.
Right.
I mean, for the past 20 some odd games for the whole season, you came home with a clean uniform.
Right.
You understand? So the best you can get is one of those participation trophies that they give everybody for sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't understand how you can write about something that you don't participate in. Because what you just told us is that you're not even in a position to be a simp.
he ain't even in the game.
You ain't even in the game. You ain't what you're telling me is that bitches ain't even choosing you to come up off of.
Right.
They don't even see you as worthy enough to prey on. 25 years?
No relationship.
25 years?
God damn, son.
Nigga, that's life in prison.
Damn.
That's a life sentence. So they don't even find him. They don't find anything about him appealing enough to try to come up off of him.
Well, you know how he gonna flip it. He gonna basically say that this is basically by design. This is his choice. And
he can't tell that lie.
Right. But basically, you know, one of the main reasons I'm doing this joint, right, is because I haven't actually had any emails yet. I haven't really checked my emails, but I know there's probably some cats out there probably stating that, you know, you don't know Shawn James. How do you know that he ain't getting no bitches? How you know he ain't getting no pussy? You know what I mean? Well, as a stomped down player in the game for, man, more than 25 years, as far as I'm concerned, I can look at a nigga and tell if he getting some ass or not. You know what I'm saying? So this video right here is going to basically show and prove what the fuck I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's gonna come from Shawn's mouth. So shall we proceed?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
That really is what makes me qualified to write a book like Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, because I am approaching the subject matter from an objective view. And when you approach subject matter from an objective view, you are approaching it from a fair and balanced perspective. You have no biases, you have no personal opinions involved, you have no emotions involved. And because you have no emotions involved and no personal interest in it, you can approach the subject matter in the most fair and balanced fashion and provide information to people that allows them to learn the most about the subject. And because I approach the subject matter of simps in that constructive manner, I believe that my book is one of the best in helping people understand what this simp paradigm is and how it leads to people having their lives fall apart. And I've gotten, a lot of positive feedback on Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance from both
Stop that.
Okay, all right.
Shawn James, you need finance to get romance, okay? Cut the shit. Cut the shit. You will not be scoring pussy for free, dog. And somebody might say, how do you know that? The same way I know a 400-pound nigga with a gap in his tooth that has no aggression or has no gangster or street aura about him is not going to pull any bitches. It's common sense. You understand?
Okay.
You don't have to be a professor or you don't have to have empirical evidence to know what women find attractive. And I'm telling you, this nigga needs money for pussy.
I think you're being a little unfair here, sir.
I'm being objective.
You're being objective?
I'm being objective.
I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You look at the brother, man. He got the flat top. You got the, the shirt buttoned up all the way.
Dog, it's the 21st century. Who wears a flat top in the 21st century?
Man, where does nigga live at, man? Where they still rocking the flat top?
I don't know. But, I mean, come on, dog. Cut the shit. You need money for pussy. Come on, dog. Come on now.
And then this is coming from, trick niggas. You know what I'm saying? Come home, Shawn.
Join the brotherhood.
Come home, Shawn.
Join the brotherhood. We know you need money for pussy, Shawn. We know this.
Oh, my God, man. He said, I'm qualified to talk about simps. Okay, let's go.
Not when it comes to free pussy, you're not.
Go.
And those people have read the book and they have come out of it learning more about this dysfunctional life paradigm and how it prevents you from living the best life possible and prevents you from having healthy and functional relationships. I actually have some experience with simps, but it's from a different perspective. Now, back when I was in junior high school, I dealt with a lot of men or boys, people would consider simps. I saw the beginnings of this behavior way back in junior high school when I was 12 years old, and it raised a red flag back then. And as I began doing more research on these nice guys, I began to go back and think about those experiences, and I began to understand, where a lot of this behavior come from. Because back when I was 12 years old, I remember being in a gym class and I wasn't prepared for class. I was sitting in the bleachers, and one guy decides to talk to me, and he said, the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "Do you have a girlfriend?" And I found that question to be quite peculiar, because what boy asks another boy if he has a girlfriend? You would think that another boy would ask a boy what type of video games he plays, what types of
Okay, all right.
What has just happened is that a nigga has just identified you as praise, Shawn. That's why he asked you that question.
Yeah.
He asked you that question to determine whether or not, right or wrong, no matter what you think about it, what he was doing, he was sizing you up.
It was a dick swinging contest.
Yeah, it's a dick swinging contest. He was sizing you up to see if you're somebody who he can pick on. He was sizing you up to see if you the type of nigga whose lunch money he would take.
Right.
That's why he asked you that question. Because in the black community, unfortunately, but that's how it is, an indication or a barometer, the instrument that measures your masculinity or your manhood is your appeal to women.
Yeah, man.
That is a barometer of your masculinity in the black community. So what he was doing is he was sizing you up from the perspective of a predator. He finna get ready to fuck with you, dude. That's why he asked you that question. Go ahead.
He couldn't understand why he asked him that shit. He called that nigga who asked him that question a simp and a nice guy.
No.
He said he's had dealings with simps and nice guys when he was 12 years old, and Shawn doesn't even have the street smarts or intelligence to know when he being sized up.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't got shit to do with the bitch. Got everything to do with you and whether you gonna be food for this nigga.
Yeah, he's ascribing sexuality to it. Well, what boy would ask another boy about his sex drive? It's not about your sex drive, nigga. He's trying to see if you gonna be food, if you gonna be prey. That's why he's asking you that question. He's trying to determine for how long, and how frequent he's gonna fuck with you. How often he's gonna pick on you every day. You're being sized up to be the class victim. That's what you are. You are the class victim. You the motherfucker that they gonna slap kick me signs on his back when you walk down the hall. That's why he did that.
Let's proceed.
Comic books does he read? What type of cartoons does he watch? What type of shows does he watch? Those are subjects that other boys ask other boys who they don't know. They don't start the conversation off with something regarding sex or sexuality unless they are feeling insecure. And this is what I saw.
Man, Shawn is so fucking far off. It's crazy, man.
See, what you don't know, dude,
man,
is that in the black community, sexual experiences happen as early as 8 and 9 years old.
Right.
So our community is sexualized before they reach puberty. The people, unfortunately, in the black community, because it is a matriarchal community, there's no masculine principle, there's no strong masculine presence because it's a matriarchy. There's nothing there to protect young children from something that they're not ready to handle hormonally until they reach the appropriate age. So we are exposed to sex at a much younger age than what everyone else would be exposed to sex. The boy that asked you that was probably already getting his dick sucked. The boy that asked you that was probably already fucking bitches at 12 years of age.
Right.
Normalcy, as James Baldwin so eloquently pointed out, that in the ghetto, normalcy is not something that has a great premium. Normalcy does not carry a great premium in the ghetto or in the hood. So you are being confronted by a nigga that's dysfunctional, and you're too naive to see the dysfunctionality. The same dysfunctionality that you talk about constantly in the black community, you don't even know it when you see it. You don't even know it when it comes up to you and asks you, are you fucking? You understand? So it's not a question of sexuality. You want to swing it back to sexuality. To this dude, you're a fool. And he's sizing you up to determine how long he's going to eat off.
Yeah, he got it backwards. He talking about the dude that came up to him, hollering at him is insecure. Like, you got it backwards, man. This motherfucker that's coming up, sizing you up with that Vic test, you know, trying to see if you a victim. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing insecure about what he doing, man. You know what I mean? He see you as a Vic.
Yeah, he gonna be insecure when he pat your pockets.
You know what I'm saying? That's all that is, man. But no, ain't nothing insecure about that dude giving you that probing question about it. He basically asking if you got bitches, man. You know what I mean? And all the cool kids got bitches. All the motherfuckers that's worth a shit, so they say in school. You know, the niggas that's in the cliques and whatnot, you know, they got the bitches. And if you ain't got no bitches, of course, guess what? You ain't the cool kid. You ain't in the clique. Therefore, you a Vic.
Yep.
I mean, it's simple as that, Shawn. Goddamn. You know what I mean? And this shit that you trying to pass off, you trying to flip the script by telling everybody that the nigga that's sizing you up was the simp, the nigga that's sizing you up is insecure, the nigga that's sizing you up. Come on. Come home, Shawn. Come home, Shawn. We have a space open for you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Just admit who you are, what you are, my nigga, okay? Let's proceed.
Quite a bit in my interpersonal relationships, especially with black and Hispanic males. This is how they start off conversations, because it shows, you know, how insecure they are. Because a lot of these males, they have overly close relationships to their mothers. And because they have overly close relationships to their mothers, they're always looking for someone who's going to go out here and look to appease, as I call it, the queen, or please the queen. And when they see a man radiating, or a boy radiating masculine energy, who is secure in himself, who is comfortable in himself, and
I'm sorry, stop.
Okay, are we supposed to assume that he's the one that's radiating?
That's what he's saying.
Masculine energy.
That's what he's saying.
That's why he's getting picked on.
No, that's exactly why they came to you. You don't radiate masculine energy. You don't. I said it before and I'll say it again. There's nothing about Shawn James that screams aggression.
Right.
They don't see you as balanced. They don't see you as secure. They damn sure don't get masculine energy from you. That's why they ask you if you're fucking.
Yeah, them niggas said, when they see someone who's radiating masculine energy. I was like, talking about you?
If you were radiating masculine energy, he would have never approached you.
You never would have approached you with that bullshit.
He never would have pulled down on you if you had masculine energy. Lions don't hunt their own, dude.
God damn, man. Only for territory, only for bitches, and ain't no bitches involved in this little scenario you talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's funny as hell, man. You said they basically picking on him because he radiates masculine energy. Do you see it?
No.
All right. Let's proceed, man. I'm sorry, Shawn, man. I gotta do it to you, man. We gotta bring you home, bruh. You know, we gotta bring you home.
Not looking for the attention or approval of others, it makes them uncomfortable. So they have to act. So they have to bring the conversation into the gutter and start talking about sex, because they cannot relate to a person like myself on any other level. They know on an instinctive level they have nothing in common. So they have to bring everything into.
I'm sorry.
All right, what?
I don't get this, and I've heard this quite a lot in YouTube. What are they saying that is so high powered? I don't get that.
I know. What did he say?
He said they can't relate to him on any other level.
Okay.
So they got to take it to the gutter. What are you saying that's so high powered?
Well, once again, we got to understand that he's talking about when he was 12. You understand?
I understand he's relating an experience.
Yeah.
But he's speaking in the present sense. In other words, this is what he knows about sex now.
Right.
These are behavioral aspects that he is observing. This is a pattern. This is what he knows, not what he knew or what he picked up, but what he knows.
Okay.
So it's this thing about, well, I'm on another level. And I heard that from another one of his buddies. They're on this elevated plateau of intellect.
Okay.
And I just don't see it.
All right.
I don't see it. So what is it about you, other than your flat top and your shirt buttoned all the way up? What is it about you that makes you different from them? I don't understand what. Okay, you may have an extensive vocabulary. I get it.
Right.
You're not an aggressive dude. I get it. You read books. I get it. Okay, you may be different, but that doesn't mean that you're superior to them. You're just different.
Right.
You understand? Now, if you're going to say you are in some way superior to them, it should show in the tangible gains that you assess in your life. Or it should show according to your behavior. You don't have to talk about who you are. Just be who you are. I'm always leery of niggas that's always trying to tell someone how different they are. If you're different, people will see that. And we see that you're different, Shawn. If we don't see nothing else, we see that you're different.
Come home, Shawn.
And it's okay because we're different.
Come home.
It's okay because we're different. But I'm trying to figure that out. What makes them so superior or at such an elevated level in the game than the other niggas they talking about? If you're saying that your intellect is probably more expansive than them, okay, that's wonderful, but you can't ball rub, Shawn. You don't have the rights to ball. You don't have ball rubbing rights.
Well, this is my thing, man. I'm trying to figure out what does that have to do with his experience when he was 12? Because he's trying to equate that to what happened to him when he was 12, when the dude asked him about if he was getting laid or not. You know what I mean? And he was saying that cats got to bring it down to a low chakra, a low level. You know what I mean? Talk about some ass. And they have to do that because their vocabulary and their intellect and just their whole knowledge base
is not on par.
It's not on par with his. But I'm like, I mean, well, what kind of physics, what sort of trigonometry and calculus was you doing at 12 that had this other nigga, you know what I mean, so mystified by you that he had to go to, are you fucking? You know what I'm saying? I don't really understand what he was. Well, I do understand what he was trying to do with that. He was trying to basically come up with a way to excuse why he didn't have that masculine energy. And he just basically said, well, they can't fuck with me because I'm smart.
That's his last ditch effort to protect his manhood. Is what you
yeah, basically.
He's trying to keep his swag intact.
Right. Shit. All right, let's proceed. Come home, Shawn.
The sewer, as I call it. This is what the simp does. So he's gonna start asking you if you have a girlfriend. They know, that they can't relate to you on any other level. And my mistake was saying no to this individual. And this is what they do.
That was a mistake.
Oh shit. Wrong button, nigga.
That was a mistake. No, that wasn't a mistake. That was a validation. He knew you didn't have any women.
Hold on.
He just wanted you to validate what he already knew.
All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. Pushed the wrong button. Now, what was you saying?
That wasn't an assessment. He just wanted him to validate what he already knew.
Right.
So when you said no, you weren't telling him anything he didn't know already. He just wanted to hear it from your mouth.
You are not looking to please and appease women. He goes into his paradox trap, where he tries to use this to launch into his shaming language. And as long as you play his game, you're going to lose. As long as you feel inadequate in front of this person, you're going to lose. And I ran into a lot of these simps, back in junior high school. And as I got older, I ran into more, of these simps. And they would always try to bring the conversation towards the sexual, and they would always try to make everything about women. They would everything, because they don't like the idea of a man who can focus on himself, focus on the goals he wants to pursue. Everything with them is about pleasing and appeasing women, chasing women, seeking the approval of women, and seeing a man who can go out here and, pursue his own goals, hobbies, and interests. That makes these men feel very inadequate.
I mean, basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let me explain something to you. I'm going to tell you something that's not flattering. I'm going to tell you niggas the truth.
All right.
we chase our hobbies and we chase things that interest us. But a lot of the anger and animosity that I see on YouTube comes from men that have not experienced the sexual validation or the validation that comes from the sexual conquest of women. You understand? A lot. So what he's saying is that a lot of these men can't define or do not have any definition of manhood beyond that of sleeping with women.
Okay.
Sex is not just biological. Sex is also psychological, it's mental, and in some aspects it is spiritual. Okay? If you're going to, you look at every serial killer on this planet. Look at every serial killer that has that has been arrested. You will always see what? Some form of sexual dysfunction.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this idea that the act of fucking or the act of sexual validation from women does not have an effect on the male psyche, or that you're somehow standing alone. What he's really making is a lightweight MGTOW argument. Is what he's saying. Is that okay? You can't define your masculinity in any other way, which is not true, because another way to define your masculinity would be, you know, physical sports, martial arts, football, you know, things that involve some type of masculine aggression or some type of aggression. So there are outlets for other masculine aggression, but that balance that men get from the sexual conquest of women is real. You understand?
Yeah.
It adds that confidence. It adds that swagger. It adds a degree of balance to your personality if you have that type of relationship with women. There's no way to get around it. Pussy balances you. James Brown said this: it's a man's world, but it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. You cannot exist in this lifetime without tasting the pleasures of the flesh. And the ones that do that and the ones that think that way, these are the niggas on here now today to my fucking robots. You understand?
Yeah.
These are the niggas on here today talking about going MGTOW. What they're doing is they're becoming eunuchs. That's what they're becoming. What they're doing is romanticizing celibacy. What they're trying to do is rationalize their own celibacy. That's all they're doing. So if he's saying from the perspective that, okay, you shouldn't define your manhood by how many bitches you fuck, okay, I'll give you that.
All right.
But I know this. Experience with women in terms of whether or not you want to be with them in a long-term situation comes from those notches on your belt.
Okay.
Nobody buys the car until they kick the tires.
Right.
You understand? Nobody buys a car before they test drive the motherfucker to see if the engine is good. Nobody buys a car without a driver's license. You understand? So short-term sexual gratification is a rite of passage. It is a necessary function if you're going to be in the dating world. If you're going to be celibate, that's your opinion. That's the opinion you take if you're going to be celibate. That's the opinion you take if it's going to take you 25 years to get in a motherfucking relationship. You understand?
God damn, 25 years.
That's the position you take if you're going to be without pussy. Or unless you're going to go and become a monk. If you're going to go and become a monk and you're going to live this life of celibacy and you're going to go live in a cave, yeah, then you take that position. But the fact of the matter is, being with women and fucking women is one of the most natural and one of the most exhilarating things in the world. Is it the only thing in the world? No.
And whether you want to believe it or not, it is a measure of your manhood.
It is a measure of your
And I
manhood.
think he's being disingenuous when he's talking about these cats that actually went up to him and asked him about, you know, is he laying any broads, right? That he's calling them simps, and he's saying that they appease and they acquiesce and they put women first. Nowhere in here have you proven that they are simps, and nowhere have you proven that they actually acquiesce and they put women first.
No, see, he know that was a diss.
Yeah,
He trying to turn that around.
Yeah,
He know that was a diss, and he know they were dissing him.
Right.
And so what he trying to do is flip it. You see what I'm saying? To make himself the good guy in the white hat, but you didn't have to do that. We already know you the good guy in the white hat.
No, he was trying to make himself out to be the pimp and the Mac in the equation. Is what he's trying to do.
Well, hell, we know that ain't true.
That's what he's trying to do. He was trying to call the dudes that's getting the pussy the simps, and he ain't getting no pussy. He reading comic books, but somehow he pimping. You know what I'm saying? Come home, Shawn. Stop playing games. All right, man. Stop playing games, my nigga. You tripping. All right? We see through you. We see through you, man. You want to proceed?
Proceed.
Let's proceed.
Because again, they live for the pleasing of women. They live for the approval of women. And that makes them very upset. And sadly, when you're in a school with...
Once again...
you were fucking bitches. Did you do that because you were trying to...
No. This goes against the Pookie and Ray Ray paradigm. Well, he got accosted by, the dude that went up to him and asked him that, gave him the victim test. That was a Pookie and Ray Ray nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from what we've been hearing online, the Pookie and Ray Ray niggas don't get two fucks about a bitch. That's why they get bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he trying to flip it and say, no, these guys are simps and they put women first and they acquiesce to all women's needs and shit. I'm like, nigga, you was approached by the Pookie nigga. He was sizing you up to see if you had nuts.
Yes.
It was a dick swinging contest. He don't even understand that shit, man. But no, I'm not trying to appease and please no bitches. No, even in my tricking, I'm not trying to appease and please no bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You trying to get them to please you. That's what the whole purpose is.
Customer always right, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get my shit off. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm trying to set it up to where I keep getting my shit off. So it's not so much about her as it is about me. That lets me know, well, I would take the conversation into the gutter. So just
let's proceed.
Where simps outnumber you 7-1, it can lead to a very, very hostile environment. And these guys, again, they very much act like women. They're very cliquish, they're very catty, they take things very personal. They love to argue.
I will admit that some of that is true. Yeah, very cliquish, and yes, a lot of these motherfuckers do act like bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because I have no romanticizing or have no love affair with most what we would call Pookie and Ray Ray niggas. I find a lot of these niggas is like bitch made. You know what I'm saying? Because I was attacked by a lot of bitch made ass Pookie and Ray Ray ass niggas. So this is not a situation where I'm trying to laud or I'm trying to elevate the Pookie and Ray Ray nigga. But once again, Shawn, I just want you to see you for who you are, my nigga. Stop trying to flip it. Stop trying to be something you ain't.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
A lot of niggas doing that on YouTube, though.
A
lot of niggas want to ball rub, without paying their dues. You see, you got a lot of niggas that's trying to step out of their lane and ball rub, and they haven't earned, they don't have the stripes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to protect their humanity. They're trying to protect their dignity. So what they're doing is they're trying to go extra hard on Pookie and Ray Ray in order to protect their manhood. But what you're actually doing is projecting your angst. You're advertising to everyone that you feel inferior to those dudes.
Let's go.
When they love to have a lot of drama, they do a lot of passive aggressive things like stealing your stuff and then
yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Right there, he dropped the gem right there. He dropped the jewel. Basically, Shawn is basically saying he got fucked with and picked on a lot.
That's what he's saying.
By these niggas, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying that they terrorized him.
Right. Which goes back to what you was talking about in the previous show, how ARC reminds these niggas of their high school days.
High school days, yep.
Man, you want to expound on that?
Well, in his case, in his case, his junior high school days.
Right.
Because they started fucking with him as early as 12. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So these dudes, there's a lot of revenge. There's a lot of unresolved anger, a lot of rage that they have towards these men. And so now what they're doing today is they're seeking to get their revenge. They're seeking to dissipate some of this anger that they've had inside of them for so long. And these are guys that are still scarred.
Right.
These are guys that are still scarred. Their emotional and psychological development has been prematurely arrested. They've developed themselves intellectually, but psychologically, they're still 12 years old. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
In this video, he is not whatever age he is. He's not in his 30s or 40s here.
Right.
This is a man talking as if he were 12 years of age.
Right.
He's back on that bleacher. He's reliving that moment as you're listening to him right now. So when you when you hear someone like an ARC, and ARC, when he says, I can make a woman stop fucking her husband just on my word alone. You know, that's reminding him of that nigga that's saying, hey, my nigga, you fucking?
That reminds him of the dick swinging contest.
Yeah, that reminds him of the dick swinging contest.
Yeah, he's like, he don't like that shit, son. He's like, man, what you mean you talk about that? But let's talk about comic books.
And no shade, because I love comic books.
I love comic books too.
I'm a Marvel and DC enthusiast. I think that comic books are excellent for building vocabulary.
Oh, no doubt.
They also stimulate imagination, and they can build a love for science and mathematics. So let's not get it twisted,
man.
Because the truth be told, this is a truth moment. I was a Shawn James, but I reacted differently.
Right.
From the perspective that sometimes when you're put in a position, you can't swing the conversation the other way. You understand? I can vividly remember in the 7th grade, it was this nigga named Robert Oakley. He approached me like the nigga approached Shawn James. He didn't ask me about pussy. He asked me about a girl who I was interested in. And I gave him, you know, the beta male answer, nigga, it ain't none of your business. And so he thought he was gonna pat my pockets. I was terrified. I didn't know how to fight this dude, but I know I didn't have the luxury of him coming taking lunch money from me every day. And I was not about to run from him. Right. But he made the fatal mistake of cornering me in the locker well. You see what I'm saying? I would have ran from him, but he didn't give me room to run from him. So, but that was the best thing for me he could have done, was to corner me, because I beat the fuck out of him that day. Because I was afraid. I had to go through that rite of passage in order to keep him off of me. See, that was a fight or flight moment he had. And he didn't understand how to respond to that. So when you have these dudes that say, well, comic books, I was into other things, and they steal your stuff. Well, yeah, that was why he came to you, to see if he could steal your shit. That's why he was coming to you, to see if you were somebody who he wouldn't mind patting their pockets every day. Right. And you basically told him, pat my pockets. You gave this nigga an invitation to pat your pockets. So when you dealing with these dudes, it's only one, sadly enough, unfortunate as it sounds, there's only one response. That's a life lesson. There's only one response that you can give a nigga like that, because they're not trying to sit there and have an intellectual argument with you. They're not debating the finer points of your philosophy. They're trying to determine whether or not they're gonna rob your ass. You understand? Yeah. That's what they're trying to determine. So when he runs across, I understand now why he called Alan Roger Curry a blue pill beta man. Right. I understand now, because again, he's still 12 years old. In spite of all this higher intellect that he has, in spite of all these books that he's written, Shawn James is still 12 years old, probably with a flat top. Continue.
Shit. Basically, cats got to understand, it's hold on, man. Fuck, let me get my thoughts right here. A cat that's getting a lot of pussy, this is often equated to a dude that can throw hands. Yes. This is often equated to, a nigga that's on some alpha shit.
Because in the black community, the niggas that get the most pussy are the ones that are hyper aggressive.
Right. So once again, it was a dick swinging contest. It was a situation where he was trying to figure out if he was a Vic. Therefore, you just heard Shawn James just admit he started getting his ass took. You know what I'm saying? He started getting robbed, and they was pilfering this nigga's pockets.
At the age of 12.
And this was shortly after they asked this nigga, you getting any ass? Yeah. Okay, so Shawn, kill the shenanigans, nigga. You know what this was about, all right? It ain't about motherfuckers talking about these simps and they acquiescing to women and, they putting women on a pedestal and all this shit. It ain't got shit to do with that, nigga. Stop. Kill it, nigga. Kill it. All right, let's proceed. Oh, also, anybody that fuck with Mac City know we don't shit on comic books, all right? Because I got Magneto sitting right over here, you know what I mean? So it ain't like we don't fuck with the comics. But nigga, don't be trying to bring the comics into the game when they ain't got no business being in the game. We talking about bras. We talking about alpha shit, beta shit. We talking about ass. Leave the comic books at the door. Let's go.
Watching you scramble and look around for it and then saying that, oh, I don't know what happened to it. They do all sorts of dysfunctional things. And when it comes down to these males, you know, they're a nightmare to deal with because, again, they're just like dealing with a woman. They're a literal nightmare to deal with. Everyone has to agree with them. Their opinion is the only opinion. And if you have an opinion of your own, these guys want to fight you. If you don't want to do things their way, they want to fight you. They always looking for. It's just like dealing with a very, very menstrual woman, a woman who is on her period, and you eventually just get tired of dealing with those guys. And I had to deal with a lot of these guys, and they would make life a nightmare. And these guys, they were more concerned with my romantic life than I was. I didn't care really. I was more into my comics. You know.
We gonna reiterate what we've been saying. All right, they're not interested in your romantic life because, you know, they just want to be in your romantic life, man. These are probing questions to figure out if I can rob you, nigga. They trying to figure out, you know, if you cool, you one of the cool kids, man. They trying to figure out, man, if you got some balls on you, my nigga. And typically, the niggas that's fucking is the niggas that got the balls. All right, so you know, I don't know.
Well, he just told you. He said they tormented him.
Yeah.
So what he's telling you is that he's been victimized. They're victimizing him. This is a plea for help.
Right.
He's crying out here. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So what he's letting you know is this is a SOS signal. This is distress.
Right.
You know, that's just. God, I can't believe that. Okay.
Proceed.
Video games, TV shows. These guys would be like, these guys would just continuously harass me. When are you going to get a girlfriend? When are you going to get a girlfriend? When are you going to sleep with someone? It was really sad.
Hey, I told y'all this was not going to be nice. All right, and I'm trying to be respectful because, you know, I feel for Shawn, my nigga. I feel for him, but y'all heard it, my nigga. Y'all heard it. So him going around pointing the fingers at, you know, an ARC, talk about blue pill and simp and all this shit. You hearing it from the horse's mouth. When I told y'all on the podcast that Shawn ain't getting no pussy, man. All right? And you hearing it straight from his mouth on this video. You know, they harassing this nigga talking about when you gonna fuck, when you gonna get a broad, when you gonna get a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't saying that just to be saying it. You know, this is coming from just a player and a hustler in the game that's been out here in the streets forever. I know when a nigga getting pussy, man. You know what I mean? I can look at you and tell, man, if you're getting it. Shawn ain't getting it, my nigga.
I'm gonna be more empathetic.
Right.
I wasn't a hustler.
Right.
I existed in the streets because my business was in the streets. But I identify with this dude as a victim.
Right.
Of, you know, a lot of the swag politics that we have in the black community. Mm-hmm. When I look at him, I can see aspects of myself.
Right.
We just reacted to the situation differently. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I didn't run.
Right.
I didn't have the luxury to run it. You know, I didn't have the privilege of running. I didn't have the privilege, and a lot of times these niggas don't give you the privilege of walking away. Mm-hmm. You understand? So I can identify with that victimization, with his victimization. I can identify with his agony. I can identify with his suffering. But what I cannot identify with is his ability to deny that suffering.
Right.
His ability to try to rationalize his lack of will. Mm-hmm. His lack of gumption to stand up against that which was really bothering him. Right. And that to me is feminine. Right. When you don't face your fear, when you don't face your problems, when you don't face off against that which is degrading you, when you don't face off against that which is oppressing you, right. And you shift the blame like a female would and say it's them. No, you deal with them. Because that's what men do. That's what alpha males do. You understand? Mm-hmm. And when you have that aura, when you have that vibe of putting people in their place, they don't ask you whether you fucking.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, you will be fucking. You understand? It's like in The Last Dragon. You got the glow.
Alright.
You know, and he didn't have the glow. He doesn't have it.
Right.
So I do identify with him, with that teenage angst that he has. That teenage angst, that sense of alienation, you know, of not being included or being amongst people. Because keeping it real, that can be some very painful shit to be a misfit.
Alright.
But again, we have to say that that's what it is. Don't try to throw it off on something else. Don't try to shift the indicator. Don't try to change the story. Don't shift the needle to some place because you feel that you're somewhat insufficient.
Right.
Just keep it 100. Keep it 100, my dude. Keep it 100. You didn't have the gumption to keep these niggas off you because you were awkward. You were socially awkward. You were different. And you were someone who was available to be picked on. You were vulnerable. You were a mark. That's what it was. That's what it is. Unfortunately, that's what happens in the black community. And now you'll see a lot of these niggas, like other YouTubers I know, that those experiences, people think that those are just shallow experiences and get over. You'll see a lot of these niggas when they grow up, a lot of them become conservatives.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of them start supporting these positions and endorsing these positions that are anti-black community. And they'll tell you it's because of the politics. No, it's not because of the politics. It's because a lot of them were picked on. And a lot of them were ostracized and alienated in their younger years. So what they want to do is they want to get with any platform that will injure the people that abuse them, the people that oppress them. They're trying to gain their vengeance by burning the whole black community down for one nigga that fucked with them years ago when they were 12 years old. You understand?
All right.
So that's what it is. Push.
All right, let's go.
On the flip side, when I was dealing with the females in my South Bronx area, I had to deal with a whole host of really, really dysfunctional females. And as I grew older, and I started to see how a lot of these females behave, I began to see, it's better for me to leave these chicks alone. But a lot of these guys, they didn't see things from my perspective. They didn't understand that many of the females that we were growing up with were eventually going to become predators, because the behavior that they learned from their mothers was, how to use men as tools. And they saw men basically as someone that they could use to get from point A to point B, or someone to be a sperm donor so that they could get a welfare case or an SSI case. But a lot of these guys, again, they're not very smart, so they couldn't see, how these women were going to use them. Now, I had women approach me back in junior high school and high school, and I was interested in some of them until I started listening to what they really had to say with a critical ear.
Do you really think there was women approaching him, man?
No. Nobody
Nobody
approached him.
You think?
Nobody. We talking about South Bronx.
Right.
South. No. They didn't approach him. What they were probably doing, if they were approaching him, they were probably approaching him to rob him. You understand?
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you, those Brooklyn bitches,
right,
and them bitches from the Bronx,
right,
them were some hardcore thug bitches. You see what I'm saying? So they would not approach Shawn James. Them hardcore hood bitches in Brooklyn, and they're not gonna approach Shawn James. That's just not gonna happen.
You think he's embellishing, man?
He is embellishing.
You think he's throwing extras on it to make himself look good?
There's no doubt he's trying to make himself look good.
He said, I was approached by women.
Nobody approached Shawn.
Like, man, you gotta produce some receipts on that one.
Nobody approaches Shawn.
You gotta show me something on
Nobody's gonna approach the nigga whose pockets are being padded. You understand? Nobody's gonna approach him. Nobody's gonna approach you, dude. Keep it 100. You didn't have what it took to attract those women anyway. Because those women that come, again, when you come from a matriarchal environment, and that environment is a very violent and dysfunctional environment, the men that they are going to approach are going to be those super G niggas. Those niggas that are show enough rugged. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Them niggas that don't mind getting ragamuffin on your ass at the drop of a dime.
Right.
Those are the niggas that they're gonna approach. Why? Because they're aggressive. And that, if you understand male and female relationships and male and female, the energy that's exchanged between the two, they have to fuck with a nigga that makes them feel feminine. Mm-hmm. This nigga does not make them feel feminine. You understand?
Yeah.
This nigga is not going to make a woman feel protected.
Okay, let's proceed. Show enough. Show you right.
And I remember one conversation I had that pretty much, gave me my views on women today. And it was this female, back in high school, came up to me, said that she liked me, and
you might as well keep going. You might as well keep going. You might as well keep going.
Come on, man. Look, this. Come on, man. Come on, fellas. All right, Back City Crew. Come on, man. Listen. How many females have you ever met that would just come up to you and say, "I like you," and she want to get down with you? You know what I'm saying? How many? Unless you, what's that 20% type nigga? You know what I mean? The Lucky Charm nigga. I don't think that's never happened to me. I ain't never had a broad come up to me and be like, I'm trying to fuck with you. I'm trying to, unless the bitch was trying to rob me.
Yes.
I had a couple bitches trying some slick shit. You know what I mean? Trying to get me set up on some shit. You know what I mean? But other than that, I ain't never had no female come to be like, yeah, I'm trying to fuck with you. I'm trying to get with you. I like you. But it happens to Shawn James though.
Now we know. We don't.
It didn't happen. I don't believe that.
We don't.
I don't believe that shit, nigga. I think he's embellishing, man. I think he's making shit up. Let's proceed.
I didn't pay much attention to it because, again, I was focused on myself and my comics and my, hobby.
Now, that part, I believe. That part of the story, that's true.
Well, yeah, he was focused on the comics and he was focused on himself because there was no woman that approached him.
Exactly.
There was no woman that approached him.
That part of the story is true.
Right. That part of the story is true. He added that other shit in there about the broad coming up to him, fucking with him, say, she want to be on his team. You know what I mean? And then he basically, he gonna go get a nod to his manhood by saying, nah, I ain't trying to fuck with you. I'm fucking with these comic books. Come on, Shawn, man. Come on, man. Come on, son. All right.
I'm listening to her and she says that she feels sorry for me. And I quote...
Now that's true. Ooh. That's true. That part is true. That is true.
That's a gem right there,
that's
son.
That's a gem. That's a gem.
So, you know what? This might be true. That might be true.
No, that part is true.
No, I'm saying there might have been a broad that actually came up to him and did that shit, you know what I mean? Tried to get with him on some pity shit, you know what I mean?
Well, it may have been pity, but what I think more than likely it was pity, but not, I'm going to give you some pity pussy.
Exactly.
It was pity that you're a really nice guy. I feel sorry that niggas are stealing from you and ripping off your books.
Right.
I feel sorry for you that niggas are picking on you. I feel sorry for you that you being terrorized. And you're such a nice guy, you don't bother anyone. She's having a compassionate moment with him.
Right.
And he's mistaking that compassionate moment for romantic interest. See what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you.
So what she's saying is she feels sorry for him, and she could have been preying on him. You see what I'm saying? She could have been ingratiating herself, because you know how these bitches do. They'll ingratiate themselves to you for the purpose of extracting some type of benefit from you. And they seek out niggas like this, that they know that don't have any aggression about them, that don't have any masculine energy about themselves. They're into their comic books. They're into learning, that they prey on men like that.
Right.
Not necessarily from the perspective of robbing them. Maybe some of them bitches are on that too. But what they do is they get in good with the smart dude. Because the smart dude, they can come over, in tight jeans or whatever and smile at them and he'll do their homework. You see what I'm saying? He'll help them cheat on tests. He'll help them pass geometry class. He'll help them pass science. So they're ingratiating themselves to him for their own personal gain. Not that they're really compassionate or concerned or have any romantic interest in him. They're trying to figure out how they can use him. They ain't got the heart to fuck with him because all the rest of the niggas already picking him clean. Ain't nothing left.
Right.
You see, so let me see if I can use him for either his money or use him for his intelligence.
So shit, rewinding a little bit, I'll basically saying that, man, there ain't no broad coming up to this motherfucker campaigning, you know what I mean? But when he went ahead and just said that the chick said, I feel sorry for you, that, you know, that's a whole different ball of wax there. He may be this may actually be a true scenario, a true situation. Shit, that makes sense now. If a broad did come up to him and was actually like trying to actually get with him, and it really wasn't a genuine get with, you know what I mean? It was a more so, like you say, a pity party, so to speak, man.
I don't think it was trying to get with him, dog.
Well,
you gotta be on the ballot to campaign.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Shawn James is not on the ballot, dog. We both know that, man. Shawn James was not on any ballot. He wasn't running for any parts of the pussy. It's not there, man. It's just not there. Parts of this story is true. He's embellishing it, but I'm sorry. And you may say, well, who are you to say this? As a nigga that went through that experience, objectively, I can say that.
Right.
You understand? They're not coming up to you because they want you. That's not what that is, my dude. It's not romantic interest. It's pity for the purpose of personal gain.
Okay.
That's what that shit is. He got it confused, or he's twisting it as though it's romantic interest, but it is not. So yes, a part of this shit is true, but approaching him for a relationship, no. Well, I take that back. It depends on how the bitch looked.
Okay.
If the bitch was 300 or 400 pounds and unattractive,
right,
probably so.
Okay.
But if she was in any way attractive or shapely, no.
Well, y'all heard it right here, man. You know, Shawn had a broad approach him on some pity shit. You know what I mean? It's out of his own mouth, man. Once again, I'm trying not to be a dick, trying not to throw shade, man, but this is very important because I want Shawn to come home. Come home, Shawn, to where you want it, man. The power tricks are waiting.
Related that with something my mother said about my father. Now, my mother said she got involved with my father because she felt sorry for him. And
don't do it.
Don't do it. All right, did y'all hear that? All right. Okay. So already y'all see, man. I hate doing this because I feel like a dick, but he come from simp stock already. Okay, he done said that his moms chose Pops because she felt sorry for him. Come on, my nigga, man. The apple don't fall far from the tree. You know what I'm saying, man? Before I push play, would you like to keep it going? Or, because I think the coup de grace is coming just a couple more sentences down the road. Want me to just push play?
Just push play, because that's the coup de grace.
All right, let's go.
That made me look at women and say, a lot of these women have no respect for a black man. And when I looked at that, I said, if you can't have respect for me, we can't have a relationship. That was something I said, you know, back when I was about 15 years old. And I said that to myself, you know, and I've stayed with that ever since. I said, if you don't have any respect, you can't have any foundation for a relationship. And a lot of these guys, that just goes right over their head. So they don't understand that if you don't have any respect, you have nothing. And a woman who does not respect you is pretty much, you know, this is the type of chick who will set you up for a murder or set you up for a robbery and then say that, stand right there and act like nothing has happened. And all the other thing that, you know, gave me some experience about simps, you know, back then was, you know, watching a lot of these guys getting used. I mean, a lot of these women were getting involved with these dope dealers. A lot of them were getting involved with these gang members. A lot of them were getting around with these thugs back in the late 80s. And I saw that who they were choosing, and I said, if she's choosing to get involved with these type of guys, then, and I want to have a certain quality of life, I'm not going to be able to have that quality of life with her because she basically wants this type of man, and I'm not that type of man. Then I need to go out here and pursue women who want to have the same type of quality of life. Unfortunately, because I live in the South Bronx, that type of quality woman is not available. So it's better for me to just stay to myself, rather than get involved with one of these dysfunctional females. Now, a lot of these guys don't know how dysfunctional.
Okay, well, right about now, he told on himself again. He told the truth, but it was a lie at the same time. He said he made a conscious effort that he deliberately wanted to stay by himself instead of dealing with the grimy ass bitches. Do you believe that he deliberately actually wants to be by himself and not want to fuck with no broads?
Shawn James became an incel kicking and screaming.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
It wasn't a choice he made. It just isn't. There's just some things, man, that's just common sense.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in those teenage years, when you are going through puberty, and you're learning about your body, and you're starting to discover your hormones, and women are growing breasts, and you're physically attracted to them. Mm-hmm. There's no way that you would say, well, I'm just going to choose to be alone. Now, he's probably telling the truth from the perspective that he didn't want no drama.
Right.
He wasn't about that life.
Right.
Now, that part I can understand him saying. That I can see if a nigga's in the comic books, nah, he ain't really finna be fucking with no nigga that's out there moving weight. Mm-hmm. You see, he's not gonna be in the running or be able to compete with a nigga that's out there moving weight. You understand what I'm saying? So, and then when you look and you start seeing what was happening to these niggas, how they was getting mocked up and laid down out here, you saw that that's probably not a life you wanted. But then by the same token, when you look at those women again, we always said that the black community is matriarchal, so it's fucked up. Mm-hmm. But what these women were pursuing, as twisted as it may sound, they were pursuing men that they thought could provide and protect them. Mm-hmm. You understand? Right. Even though it was dope, even though it was drugs, even though they were selling drugs, those were men that they thought could provide and protect them. Now, he's right in terms of the household piece of it, because they come from homes where their mothers didn't pick decent men or weren't involved in healthy relationships with men. So they passed that demon on to their daughters. Mm-hmm. So now their daughters don't know how to pick quality men. Their daughters don't know how to have healthy relationships with healthy men. Mm-hmm. Men that are healthy psychologically, men that are healthy spiritually. So yes, he's right from that perspective. Now what he's lying about is that it was his choice. That's the lie. It wasn't as though he chose not to.
Thank you.
He's lying by telling you that he didn't have a choice. Mm-hmm. You see, the thing is that in those days, those guys had top billing. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't make you less of a man to say that. It makes you one who recognizes reality. At that time, when them niggas out there, they got the cars, they got the clothes, so it's only natural that they gonna have the women. You see what I'm saying? So he couldn't compete with them. So this part about what no, you didn't have a choice. You were an involuntary celibate. You were incel. You were an incel in high school. Just come on out and say it. You were an incel in high school, Shawn. I understand. I feel your pain, brother. I do. This is Magneto talking to you. I feel your pain. You are one of us. Come and stand with those that
come
help
home,
fight.
Shawn.
You
come
understand?
home.
I know, Shawn. I understand. I've been there. I know.
Shit,
you're not
man.
fooling me with this false swag. I know.
He said it was by choice. He's like, I chose not to fuck with the bitches. Come on, man. You know, and look, me, I ain't no super nigga, man. I ain't no gangster nigga, but man, fuck them niggas out there in the streets. I was gonna get my cut of these bitches, man. Fuck that. I'm gonna get me some of these bitches, man. I got me some.
Confession time, man. I'm a confess, man.
Confess.
I didn't start fucking bitches till after I went in the military.
Right.
Till after I was 18. I didn't go to my prom. I know where he comes from.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
I didn't get in on fucking with women until I reached my 20s. I didn't have that experience. So I know, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But you may think I'm a narcissist, but I know I look better than Shawn James. I know I look better than. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to shit on you, my dude, but I know.
No shade.
No shade. But I know I had way more going for me in high school than he did.
Okay.
And I had to wait until I got in the military.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? I had to wait to go into the world before I started tasting a little piece, the most minute piece of pussy. When I got in the military and I was able to travel, the most minute pieces. So I know he can't come up here, stand in my face, and tell me what he chose not to do.
He wanted that ass. He know he wanted that ass.
You know he wanted that ass.
He couldn't get it though. He couldn't get it,
No.
man. All the roughnecks was hogging them bitches, man. And he didn't have the heart to actually motherfucker pull up on them bitches and take that shit. Come on, man. Kill the shenanigans, Shawn. Come home, son. Let's go.
These females are out here because they are still caught up in the emotion. They are still intoxicated by that 6-inch rear end and those double Ds and that toxic nuclear waste facility that is ruminating between her legs. They're caught up in all that.
Toxic
So they don't see her from a critical perspective. When I look at a lot of those women here in the South Bronx back in the day, and I still, sometimes look at them, they're not anyone you would consider for a serious relationship. They're not somebody who you would even consider dating. A lot of them are...
I mean, I would agree with that.
I would agree with
Yeah.
that, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
They don't even consider them as women. That's why they're leaving them with babies.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not that these dudes don't know what these women are. What happens is they start fucking these bras, like he said, because they're physically attracted to them. But they don't want to be in a relationship with them. But because we don't understand how to govern healthy sexually promiscuous relationships in the black community without coming up with fucking children, you get these niggas procreating with these women, having children by these women, but they don't want to stay with these women.
Right.
So it's not that they are so intrigued by them. A lot of these niggas using these women to come up, as you very well know. They're using these women to come up with, and a lot of times they may be chipping in on these women a lot of times because they're trying to keep it as light as they can on their wallet. They're trying to convince that bitch not to go file a child support case on them. They're doing a juggling act with her. You understand? So it's not like they're just so caught up in these women. They had these women at their whim. Why would you be shook over something that you have in abundant supply?
Right.
You understand? So that lets me know that lets me further know he didn't understand the dynamics of the relationships that were going on around him. And he couldn't understand those dynamics. Why? Because he wasn't in the field. The game is in the field.
Right.
If you're not in the field, you can't call any plays. If your uniform is clean and you never left the bench and the only stain you got on your jersey is Gatorade, you can't call no play.
Yeah, so basically what we have here, he hasn't been in a relationship, so he said, for 25 years. He basically admitted that his father, his moms chose his father on some pity shit. We basically see that there's females that approached him in junior high or high school on some pity shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and I popped my collar to his moms. Because his moms had sense enough to know where she would find a man that would be a husband. You understand?
Right.
So I will say that his mom had more game than he did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
She was able to find a man that she like. Alan Roger Curry talks about those categories. Okay. I don't want you as necessarily a sexual companion, but you're not somebody who I would have casual sex with.
Okay.
If I have sex with you, there has to be something in exchange for it. And it's obvious that whatever that was, that included a family and that included a home where he could be taken care of.
Right.
And I can't throw shade on that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So as much as we have fucked with him this past however long we've been on here, I cannot fuck with him about that because his mom has sense enough to know how to pick a decent man.
I'm only bringing that up, basically stating that this nigga, he need to kind of slow his roll on throwing insults to other niggas talking about how they blue pill and they simps, man. That's the main reason I'm bringing that shit up. Nigga got to slow his roll, man. Admit who the fuck he is, man. You can't cure a disease unless you understand you got the disease, or you can't basically conquer an addiction unless you realize, you admit that nigga, there's a problem, my nigga. And Shawn, man, come home, my nigga. kill the shenanigans. You throwing around this simp word, this beta, this blue pill shit. Come on, man. You know, that's the thing that irritate me about the shit, man. You gotta stop that shit, man. Because any OG player, man, in the game looking at you, man, already know what it is, man. He already know what it is. Let's proceed.
Pretty much, they're either back in the 80s, I said to myself, a lot of these women are on their way to becoming single mothers or baby mamas. They're not someone you would want to have a relationship. You can't even relate to them on any sort of level. They don't know how to have a conversation about anything. They don't know how to do anything. They have no sense of humor. They have no personality. All they can talk about are silly things like sneakers and celebrities. And I was a guy sitting here, I was reading comic books, I was reading novels, I was reading newspaper articles, and I wanted to have, you know, intelligent conversation. You can't have intelligent conversation with some of these females out here. So I decided to leave them alone. I said, look, this person is headed down one road, you know, and I'm headed down this road. I want this type of quality of life for myself. So I'm not going to get involved, you know, with this type of person. It's just smarter for me to stay to myself until I can deal with people on another level. When it comes,
I know,
but once again,
I've heard that same song so many times. Let me tell you something. You make that choice. That's blue ball syndrome. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a wounded and dejected ego talk. That, well, I decided, and I'm sure, and let me not say that in full or in totality. I'm sure that this young man did have some goals for his life. I'm sure that he had ambition. I'm sure that he wanted a certain quality of life. But to deny the existence of physical attraction, that's fraudulent. That's fraudulent. Trying to disguise intellectual, the journey of intellectual pursuits and deny the law of physical attraction, that is phony as hell. You know he wanted to fuck one of them big booty bitches. You know that. You see what I'm saying? So he that part again. I know we may sound like a broken record, but I'm sorry. We don't believe you. You need more people. You see, so that's what you tell yourself when you are when you're isolated in that little prison of celibacy. You come up with all type of rational judgments or all type of ideologies designed to reinforce your celibacy. You come up with all type of excuses. You come up with everything to rationalize the fact that you're not out there on the field. You come up with every excuse, you come up with every reason, you come up with every justification, you come up with everything to explain why you are not out here. And that is I'm telling you, that is a pitiful existence. And I'm going to say that to the rest of you players out here, the rest of my brothers out here. You get in the game. If it take you going in your pocket and getting 75 or 100 or whatever you do, you don't sit there in silent sexual frustration trying to claim some moral high ground through your intellect. That's called impotence.
Okay.
That's called impotence. Don't you sit there suffering in silent frustration because you're trying to rationalize or you're trying to claim some moral high ground. Let me tell you something. In the black community with a 70% out of wedlock birth rate, you're going to wind up sooner or later fucking a single mother. That's just the facts. Unless you catch a bitch when she get out of high school. What you going to do? Post up, you know, at the high school and wait for them to come out? Hell, some of them are pregnant in high school. Some of them are pregnant before high school. You understand? In the black community, you're going to find women that are attractive, but they may not be all together as to where you would want them to be economically. Hell, look at our community. Our community is fucked up. If our community is fucked up, wouldn't it stand to reason that our women are going to be fucked up? If we don't have an economic base, don't you think that this is exactly what's going to happen? If we have a crumbling family structure, don't you think that this is exactly what's going to happen? You know, so what I'm saying to you is, don't go out here and let pussy be your God, but you respect the psychological balance that masculine feminine relationship brings to your existence. Respect the fact that it does balance you as a man to be with a woman. Don't get into this red pill rage MGTOW shit. Do not venture into that. This is a rationale for red pill rage. That's what this is. This is a 30 or 40-some-year-old man trying to excuse his red pill rage. He's trying to excuse his angst and his frustrations at not being chose. That's what this is. So don't lie to yourself like this man is lying to himself.
What I want to know is, he say he ain't been in a relationship for like 25 years. Like, what does that actually mean? That mean you ain't fucked for 25 years? You ain't have been in a bona fide relationship for 25 years? Because basically he's stating that when he was in high school, he made a conscious effort, a conscious decision not to fuck with any of these broads because, they wasn't on his level mentally. You know what I'm saying? So are you trying to tell me ever since high school, you washed your hands of these broads, man, and ever since then for 25 years, you ain't been fucking with no bitches? Is that what he trying to tell me? Is that what he trying to tell me?
That's what he's trying to tell you, but what I suspect more than likely is that Shawn done paid for pussy a couple of times.
I don't even think he done pay. I don't even think he got the balls to pay for the pussy, man.
You know?
No, I don't think it do take a degree of balls, man. Unless you're going through an escort service, you know what I mean? Where, you pick up the phone, and because me and you, we ain't never did that shit. We get our bitches homegrown, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. Like I said, he ain't been in a relationship for 25 years. So is he trying to tell me that he ain't had no ass for 25 years, or he ain't dated for? What does that mean? The vague ambiguousness of
that would defeat the whole purpose of this video. Because if he's talking about, how people, that defeats the purpose of him ball rubbing. You understand?
All right.
That if you come here to ball rub, but you're going to tell us that you lack the ability to ball, you haven't had the ability to ball rub because you've been out of the game for 25 years. Why are you here in front of us talking about it?
But what is the ball rubbing about?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand what the ball. I understand what on a certain level he's trying to rationalize his rejection. I get that part.
Right.
But if you're saying, well, you haven't been with a woman in 25 years, and that's a life sentence.
That's crazy.
That's a life sentence.
I can't even.
So what you're telling me
that's
is
crazy.
You hadn't been in the game. So so what have you been doing for 25 years? Again, if you didn't pay for it, you say you don't see him having the balls to pay for it. What have you been doing for 25 years? Have you been jerking off for 25 years?
Maybe if you called an escort, maybe you might be able to do that. But I don't even think
even if he called an escort, you gotta have the balls to pay for it. You said he don't have the balls to pay for it.
Well, like I said, but you don't have to have the balls to pay for it with an escort service because you ain't gotta talk to nobody face to face.
So all he gotta do is give him a credit card. And
It ain't like me and you, man. See a bitch on the street and be like, "Hey, what's poppin'? I like you and I want you." You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different animal, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, Shawn. Just stop it, man. Kill the shenanigans, son.
Well, we're taking the conversation into the gutter. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, we do maybe 4 or 5 more minutes of this, we'll cut it short, you know what I mean? Because we don't want to just get too happy on this, man, because it might seem like we really relishing and fucking with Shawn. But really, it is coming from a good place, man. It really is. I just want this nigga to see the real, man. Let's go ahead.
Dog, with the simp, all he's thinking with is his penis, and all he's thinking about is getting laid. And because he thinks on that level, he often winds up, being taken advantage of by predators, being used by predators, and wind up, being either dumped to the curb by a predatory female, or being put on the hook for child support for the next 18 years of his life. And these guys, again, they can't think past what's past their penis. They can't think past that. And because they can't think past their penis, they wind up in the worst situations. And I look at those type of guys, and it just saddens me because some of these guys, again, they grew up in these single mother households. They never understood, what manhood is. They never understood what masculinity is. And they never understood, you know, how to conduct themselves as men. And the sad part is, a lot of them, they grew up with this whole nice guy paradigm. Because again,
okay, we're gonna end it on that note, man.
No. You gotta give me a couple more minutes.
Yeah. Like I said, man, you said these.
You gotta give me a couple more.
Go ahead.
I want to hear what's coming next.
All right.
a lot of men who grew up since the late '60s into today grew up in the age of feminism, and because they grew up in the age of feminism, they wound up learning how to appease and please women instead of learning what natural masculinity is. Now, I'm not the greatest. Again, I grew up in a single mother household, but there were other men in my life. I mean, I did see my father once a week. I did have an older brother who taught me a lot about manhood and a lot about masculinity, and he was a great role model for me in learning what being a man was about. And because I had, you know, male figures in my life, I was able to, you know, get a semblance of what it meant to be a man. And as I began, you know, doing research on nice guys, I began to learn more and more, you know, about men and masculinity and the male identity.
What I'm trying to figure out is why does he have to study about being a nice guy when he is a nice guy? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
He's trying to make a distinction between him and nice guys. He's basically by saying that he's trying to basically state that he's not a part of the nice guy paradigm. But nigga, you are the very embodiment of the nice guy.
What he's trying to do is understand his own victimization.
Right. Okay.
That's what he's trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to understand why he's not desired.
Okay.
He's trying to understand why bitches just trying to get in his pockets if they want him for his pockets. He's trying to understand why he doesn't have the type of animal magnetism that other men have. What he's doing here is he is manifesting his inferiority complex out loud. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't understand he's doing that. What he's attempting to do is identify with the top list of the top shelf men in the black community, which is not saying much because the top shelf of men in the black community, for the most part, is based upon aggression. It's simply based upon aggression and physical appearance. Mm-hmm. There are other things. You and I have talked about this. There are other things that determine whether or not you're alpha male, but in the black community, that is solely determinative. Mm-hmm. Your physical appearance and the degree of aggression that you possess. So he's trying to say, what he's saying is, I'm trying to understand why I'm losing.
Okay.
That's what he's saying. I'm trying to understand. He's trying to understand why he's the nice guy. How did I get chosen to be the nice guy, and how did these other niggas get chosen to be the alpha male? He's trying to understand how he became the prey.
All right. Yeah, man. For anybody who may have an issue with what we doing, look, man. Me and Tony get on this motherfucker, and we roast, and we degrade ourselves ad nauseum on our own podcast. You know what I mean? Ad nauseum. You know what I mean? We talk cash shit about ourselves on a regular, my nigga. So, yeah, everybody else could be fair game as well at times.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
It's all about being honest about who you are, man.
Yeah.
I'm not really here to ball rub or beat my chest.
Right.
I want to be honest about who I am and what I represent.
Right.
And besides, I'm not seeing the necessity to really beat my chest with these. I'm not seeing it.
Right.
Especially when I'm still fucking.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So because I'm still fucking, that dick swinging contest, that holds no appeal to me. Mm-hmm. That means less than nothing to me. That doesn't mean anything because I'm still fucking even if I have to go in my pocket to do so. Mm-hmm. It's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
But again, when you got these dudes with these unresolved grievances, there was a clip in the movie Hoffa where Danny DeVito is talking to Jack Nicholson, and the dude comes up to Jack Nicholson and he says he wants to know how Jack Nicholson got the mob to support the Teamsters, and Jack Nicholson wasn't gonna tell him. He said, "Jim, I'm born and bred. I'm dyed in the wool. I want to know." And so then he went ahead and told the dude, and then Danny DeVito asked him. He said, "Well, you know, why did you tell him? Why'd you tell him?" And Jack Nicholson said, "Differences can be resolved. A grievance can be resolved. But a slight and imaginary hurt, that motherfucker will hate you to the day he dies." And what this is an individual that has suffered a lot of slights. And I don't think the hurts are imaginary. I think he's suffered a lot of injury. That alienation and that rejection, you know, is very painful. And it's brought on a lot of this rage that he's calmly manifesting, that he's trying to, you know, intellectualize, that he's trying to rationalize. So what this is, you're looking at a man in pain. That's why you can only be but so cruel to him, because life has already been cruel to him.
Right.
You see? So that's why I really sympathize and I empathize with this brother. We have said what we said, but I said what I said because I know where he's coming from. I'm just saying, be honest, dude, come home. We know. I know, dude. I know. Stop fronting. I see you.
Man.
I see you. I know.
You pointing fucking fingers talking about who's simps and who's betas or blue pill, man. You gotta stop that shit, Shawn. Stop it. God damn it. Hey, we gonna close this shit
and
on out.
Unfasten that goddamn button.
God damn, you got that shit button all the way to the top, nigga. God damn. How you breathe with that shit, nigga? Hey, it's all in good fun, man. I want y'all to go check out Shawn James. I'm gonna leave a motherfucking link to all his videos, man, in the description box, man. Go ahead, check out that nigga, man. Because actually, I agree with like 90% of that shit this nigga talking about, man.
I do too.
You know what I mean? But, you know, I just want the nigga to be honest, man. You know what I'm saying? And stop pointing fingers at motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean?
And please stop trying to battle people that you don't have. I mean, come on.
God damn it, man.
Stop trying to insult people when you don't have the stripes or you haven't paid the dues. I mean, come on, don't do that. That's some ugly shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's I understand how they make you. I get it. I get it. They remind you of junior high and high school. I get it. But my nigga, get help. I get help.
Shit, I think you do it all right for yourself, man. I predict, man, that pretty soon, hopefully, his business ventures will explode and they will take off, and he will have his, you know, pick of the litter of the bitches.
Well, here's the problem with that.
Right.
Here's the problem. This is why I had to start fucking soon. Because this is what he said in the video. He said all they care is about pussy. They live by their penises. That's a mischaracterization.
Okay.
Because when you are a teenager, when you're 17, 18, and 19 years old, you're going through the stage where you want some pussy. That's simple biology.
Right.
You understand? That's you're attracted to women. That's not anything that is necessarily low-level chakra shit. It's the natural urge within men. Men go through, Tariq Nasheed called it the player stage. You have to have those experiences to determine what kind of woman you want in a long-term relationship. In other words, you got to get out in the field and have those experiences. You got to have your heart broken. You got to be played. It's all a part of the circle of life. You got to go through those things so you can understand or be able to identify a quality female when you see one.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to get out there and understand what kind of woman you want. But when you spent most of your life denying yourself that sexual expression, and then when you blow up like he's gonna do, he's gonna blow up.
Right.
I have no doubt he's gonna make money, but here's what's gonna happen to him. Mark my words. When he blow up, just like that bitch came up to him in the South Bronx and said she feels sorry for him.
Right.
The next one that come up to him, she ain't gonna tell him she feels sorry for him. She gonna come up to him playing on his weaknesses.
Thinking it's genuine.
Yeah, she gonna come up to him playing on his weaknesses. She's gonna come up to him on some cosplay comic book shit. You see, she gonna come up to him talking to him on his level, and he ain't gonna see her coming. He ain't gonna see her coming, and when she get his ass, it ain't no coming back.
Right.
You see,
Okay.
he doesn't have that experience. He's only witnessed one kind of woman. So because he didn't enter that field, yes, he saw that they were aggressive. Yes, he saw that they were going to be single mothers, and he saw all these other things, but he has never walked the path.
Right.
He hasn't experienced that enlightenment. So when a woman comes, they can smell a nigga like you. They can literally smell you. They know when you haven't had any pussy. They know when you haven't had the sexual validation of a woman. They know when you've been lacking that comfort, that companionship. They know that you exude it. It comes out of your pores. You see, he's going to be like food to them when he blows up. And they're going to wind up taking a whole hell of a lot more money from him than they would have taken if he would have been fucking during his earlier years, from let's say 18 to 25.
Right.
That's what happens to you when you don't have those experiences. You are very naive when it comes to certain types of women, because all women are not going to come up to you, or pull up on you on that, you know, yo, what you. There are some women out here like Superhead. There are some women that are masters of being able to read men and understand the type of persona that she needs to portray in order to get next to you. And they're good at that shit. Some of them out here are sociopaths. And they are chameleons, and they will conform to whatever they need to be to get next to you. And I think he is so lost in, and this is where I say too much learning is a danger, too much knowledge is a dangerous thing. See, he's thinking from the point of intellect. There's a certain form of intelligence that comes with your emotion. You understand? There's a certain form of intellect. There's a certain form of intelligence that people possess by being able to play to your ego, by being able to play to your emotions. And what he's done is he's made himself vulnerable to that type of predator. So I have no doubt that he's going to blow up. But the trick is going to be what's going to happen when he blows up, and how is he going to be able to deal with those women when he blows up.
Well, some people would argue, since, you know, he's obviously an intelligent brother and he's read a lot of books on game, right? But I would argue that there is no substitute for experience.
There is.
Experience is the best teaching. You can read all the books in the world. It's kind of like a motherfucker reading books on how to be a Shaolin monk and Shaolin Kung Fu. You know what I mean? But if you ain't doing the katas, if you ain't actually training, if you ain't actually in the dojo, you know what I mean, actually putting these moves to use, you know what I mean? Nigga, I mean, it's dead knowledge, you know what I mean?
I'll do you one better.
What's up?
You can be in the dojo practicing form. But if you don't know how to make those forms apply when you out there on the streets,
right,
you're going to get your ass kicked.
No doubt.
Moses Powell used to tell him, yeah, I see your belt. Dr. Moses, the late Dr. Moses Powell would run up on these cats and say, yeah, I see your belt. I see your belt. But can you fight?
Right.
You understand? So his form of martial arts, which today is known as Sanukas, is geared around experience out in the field, out in the street.
Right.
You understand? So you can do the forms. You can read the books. You can dive head first into the philosophy. But the question is, how you gonna react when you in the field?
And on some real shit.
Yeah, because
some real shit.
Those women don't come with instructions. You see, can you remember all that shit you read when a woman just coming up on you, flirt? Can you identify this predator in real time? That's what I want to know. Can you identify this bitch's game in real time? Not what you read from the vagina monologues. Not from what you heard from Alexis Tyler.
Right.
Not from what you picked up from maybe ARC or from what's the Sasha Day game, or what you pick up from Derek Jackson, or anybody you listen to. That's wonderful to listen to them and learn from them. But how do you apply it in the field? How do you recognize? How do you get out of the way of that hook that you know that's coming?
Right.
What are you gonna do? And so he can read as many books as he wants to read. He can stock up on as much knowledge as he wants to stock up on. The game ain't in those books. The game is out here in the streets.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to see.
Yeah, it's a situation where, fellas, y'all need to understand the concept of static knowledge versus dynamic knowledge, man. You know what Shawn seems to have is static knowledge. It's stationary, it's stagnant. He hasn't really had a chance to apply it. He said himself, he ain't really been fucking with no broads for 25 years. So how he gonna get on here and give you any sort of wisdom, any sort of enlightenment when it comes to a bitch? I don't know. I guess he just gonna regurgitate what the fuck he done heard, or what he done read, you know what I mean, in books, man. But once again, like me and Tony, we have dynamic knowledge. Also static knowledge, you know what I mean, to go along with that, man. We've been out here in these streets fucking with these bras forever. We know all the tricks of the trade.
We had to throw away some of the shit we read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the situation is never the same. You know, it's never the same as what you read in books.
That's why it's dynamic. It's always changing. It's always changing. Shit, man. So, okay, this is what we're going to do. My apologies to Shawn. My apologies. Believe it or not, this did come from a good place. I had to roast you a little bit, though, son. I had to roast you just a little bit, you know what I mean, man? But my boy Tony, especially over here, he really does empathize and sympathize with you, man. Me, you know, a little bit, man. You know, I can't stand niggas, man, that just don't want to just keep it 100. You need to keep it 100, Shawn. Keep that shit 100. So go ahead, Tony, man. Go ahead, take us on up out of here, man. We run along on this joint.
I've been here. I've been there.
Uh-huh.
I've been there before. Right. I understand where he's coming from. I have experienced those frustrations. I used to be this dude.
Okay.
You understand? So I know when he's telling the truth, and I know when he's lying.
Okay.
And the part about bitches approaching him, he's lying. The part about him turning, he's lying.
Okay.
I've been there before.
Okay.
And some people will say, well, that's arrogant of you, Tony. That's narcissistic. No, it's life experience. You know. You know when you know. I have been in the field. I have gone through what this man is going through. I told you guys that in the podcast we did, the first response. We did the Alan Roger Curry. Time is money. I told you where I was, and I told you where I was coming from. See, I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Right.
You know, I give two fucks about impressing you niggas. That's why I know, that's how I can spot fraudulent shit when I hear it and when I see it.
Right.
You understand? Because I have been out here in the field. And I know his experience ain't that much different than mine, because he's not much more profound than the average nigga that is intellectual, or the average nigga that is somewhat knowledgeable or intelligent or studious. He's not, his personality is not that much different. You know, there may be small variations in some of the activities or some of the things that he enjoys, or he may have, you know, certain hobbies that are different or unique, but his personality is not that much different than mine. It's not that much different than, well, you're a little bit more street than he is, though.
Just a little.
But, just a little.
Just a little.
But he is not an anomaly out here. You're one of us. That's why we keep telling you to come home. You're not different than us. We understand who you really are. So with that being said, powerandstrategy.com. Go to my website, like, share, and subscribe to the website. I drop on Tuesday at the Negro Manosphere. I have an article up there now, Night of the Hunters. Also, I got a feedback. I will let the players know I got feedback. Roland Martin.
Okay.
Roland Martin, the great Roland Martin, read my last article, or not my last article, my article where I talked about him and Boyce Watkins.
Okay.
He read the article and he had some slight criticisms. He said there were certain things that I left out, but mostly he agreed with what I said.
All right.
And he said that there were some things that I got wrong. He said he also will check Democrats as well, which I've never seen that shit. He's a Democratic Party shield. That's bullshit. Right. But anyway, he read my shit. So the fact that I have somebody out there in mainstream reading my shit lets me know that my shit is powerful. It lets me know that I'm getting out there. So I will ball rub where that is concerned. All right. So again, the Negro Manosphere on Tuesday is when my articles drop. Come to powerandstrategy.com. If you want to support, you can support me through my PayPal, which is wayofstrategy44@gmail.com on PayPal, or you can become a Patreon through Way of Strategies. But most of my stuff is going to my website and to the Negro Manosphere. But I will be updating my Patreon articles soon.
And this show right here, even though it was on the fly and on the cuff, it is brought to you by, we have been sponsored by Goku's son. Okay, I hope you don't mind me saying it, Goku, because he hit a brother up on, the PayPal joint. Much love to Goku's son, man. Appreciate you, jumping in there, hitting a brother up with a little something, man. We always love to understand, or we always love to see cats appreciate what we do. And also, What's the brothers initials again?
RH.
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 Okay, RH, check this out, man. You know, this is going to sound crazy when I say this, all right? Do not send me no more money. Man, the love that you are showing me, it's got me feeling some type of way, man. I feel like I'm taking advantage of you, my brother. Man, look, man, yeah, at least wait another 30 to 60 days or something, man. You hitting, you blessing a brother with that motherfucking, man. Oh.
Well, usually he hits us up after we drop a show.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
You know, if it has that type of value, I appreciate it. I'm going to tell you, reach out and touch me. if what I'm saying moves you, reach out and touch me. But then by the same token, don't get it twisted. We're not going to sit up here and hold niggas hostage for patronage. We're not going to sit up here and tell you that if you don't do X, Y, and Z, we ain't coming along. We do this shit because it's a labor of love, and it allows us. It's a creative expression. So anything we get is extra. So if you feel like you want to reach out and support. But then by the same token, I'm not going to press you to do so. It would be nice if you did, but I'm not going to excoriate you and demean you if you don't. So RH, thank you. I would also like to thank my two cats that always support me on the Negro Manosphere. I forget, Brother Evans, and it's another dude. I think his first name, I don't think he mind me saying his first name, Cornell.
Okay, all right.
He's always reading my articles and giving me feedback or what have you. And that to me means just as much as the money that you give me. Yeah. So now that I know that there's some cats out there that I'm reaching, some cats out there that understand where I'm coming from and understand what I'm trying to do and understand my material and where I'm trying to go, that is also just as good to me as money. But if you want to send that bread, I will not send it back.
Yeah, hey, all right, yeah, go ahead and hook my boy up, man. You know what I mean? Lay off on me for at least 60 days because I'm trying to tell you, man, you said there's so much cheese. I like, man. But once again, man, I don't want y'all to get this shit twisted, man. We do this shit for the love of it. The shows is going to come irregardless. You know what I mean? If you want to go ahead and donate. But my man, RH, boy, you pumping in, you throwing in so much money. Go ahead and take care of my boy Tony for a while, man. Because I'm slick. I'm all right, my nigga. Especially with your help for the past 2 months, man. Really appreciate it, man. Y'all just don't understand how it feels real good to know that we are appreciated. That's all it is, man. We just want to know that we appreciate it, my nigga. You know, and that can come in many ways. You know, financial compensation is one of them. You know what I mean? But, you know, if y'all come on and y'all like, y'all share, y'all subscribe, whatever y'all do, man, just show some love, man. Show that y'all appreciate our efforts, man. All right, Tony, you done?
I'm done, man.
All right, man. Much love to everybody, man. And
including Shawn James.
Including Shawn James, man. We kind of fuck with you a little bit, my nigga. Shit, it's all love, man. Like I said, man, I do like your channel, Shawn. Keep up the good work, and I'm pretty sure you are soon to blow up, and you're going to have all the bitches you want. We out. We out. We out. We out.